No need to simmer beans for hours. Just one simple step, and in 10 minutes, your beans will be soft and fluffy like they just popped. Save gas, save time. Super practical and easy. Red beans, green beans, black beans are all healthy, familiar foods loved by many. But cooking beans can be quite complicated. You can boil them for hours and they'll still be hard. Especially red beans, dubbed the most stubborn type of bean. It wastes fuel, takes too much time, and the texture is still not right. Today, I'll share two great little tips that work with all kinds of beans. Once you learn them, you'll never have to slow cook beans again. Let's get started. First, choose the beans carefully. Put a sufficient amount of red beans into a bowl. Remove any beans that are spotted, broken, wrinkled, dry, or easily bruised. These are bad beans. They not only affect the taste, but can also give your cooked beans a strange smell. So, choose them carefully and make sure they are clean. Pour enough clean water into the bowl to cover the beans. Gently stir a few times to remove dirt and floating debris. Gently scrub the beans with your hands to clean them thoroughly. Rinse, then drain the water using a sieve. Let the beans dry. Now, divide the beans into two portions, placing them in two clean bowls. Today, I will show you two different methods. One method is for those who want to eat them immediately, and the other is for those who want to prepare them in advance and use them later. Method 1. Roasting and soaking, prepare a pan. No oil needed. Add the washed and drained beans to the pan. Avoid using a cast iron pan as it conducts heat too quickly and can burn the beans. It's best to use a stainless steel or clay pan. Cook over high heat and stir constantly. At first, the beans will still be moist, and you'll hear a sizzling sound. That's the water on the surface evaporating. After about 1 minute, the bean skins will start to dry. Reduce the heat to medium-low and continue stirring to prevent burning. The red beans will gradually become shinier and turn a deeper red. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. Soon you'll start to hear a slight crackling sound coming from the pan. Don't worry. These are just a few beans that slightly crack open as they heat up, a sign that the shells are fully cooked and will absorb moisture more easily afterward. Continue roasting until the beans become glossy, changing from a deep red to a dark red, and a rich, enticing aroma fills the pan. At this point, turn off the heat. Now, prepare a thermos. Immediately pour the hot beans into the thermos. Then, add freshly boiled water, at least double the volume of the beans. Cover tightly and let stand for 4 hours. The heat inside the thermos will gently soften the beans. If you soak them overnight before bed, they will be soft, fluffy, and fragrant the next morning. If you soak them in the morning, they will be ready to eat by noon. Red beans prepared this way have a wonderful texture. They are not mushy or soggy, but rather whole, firm beans with a pleasant chewiness. When bitten into, the inside is soft and smooth like flour, with a subtle caramel aroma. Whether you add sugar for a sweet dessert or mix it with rice for a hearty meal, the result is always delicious. This method is part of a traditional recipe passed down through generations. Before slow cookers or electric pressure cookers, every family used a thermos flask. Simmering beans this way saves both fuel and effort, and today, using a thermos flask is even more convenient. The principle is quite simple. The high temperature from the dry roasting process softens the bean skins and creates small cracks. That's why you hear the crackling sound. This method removes surface moisture and opens channels for the beans to absorb water. Then, placing the beans in a thermos flask and pouring boiling water over them creates a sealed, high-temperature environment, allowing the beans to continuously absorb moisture. The starch and protein inside the beans expand quickly, naturally making them soft, fluffy, and tender. Method 2. Freezing beans. This method is perfect for those who want pre-cooked beans ready to cook anytime. Start by placing the washed beans in a bowl. Add water, ensuring the water is at least twice the amount of beans. Soak them for 6 to 8 hours. After soaking, you will see the water change from clear to a pale red color, and the beans will become lighter in color. They will also be softer and almost double in size. This soaking process helps remove anti-nutrients such as phytic acid and lectin, improving digestion and increasing the body's ability to absorb vitamins and minerals. Now, drain the water. Divide the soaked beans into small bowls or cups, each containing enough for one serving. Cover each bowl tightly with plastic wrap. Then place them in the freezer overnight. By the next day, the beans will be frozen solid. You can freeze several portions at once and use them whenever you want, saving time on soaking later. When you're ready to cook, there's no need to thaw them. When the water boils, simply drop the frozen red bean blocks straight into the pot. You'll witness a fascinating sight. The frozen beans quickly separate and move around as they thaw in the boiling water. Continue cooking over high heat. As they boil, the hard beans will begin to expand. The wrinkles on their skins will flatten out, and the color will gradually change from dark red to light red. When the water is boiling again, cover the pot and cook over high heat for 10 minutes. When the time is up, turn off the heat, but don't open the lid immediately. Let it sit for another 3 to 5 minutes. When you open the pot, you'll find that most of the beans have separated. The thin outer skin is slightly curled, and the inside is soft and spongy. At this point, a gentle press with a spoon will turn the beans into a smooth, creamy mixture with no hard lumps in the middle. This method of cooking red beans is ideal for busy people. If you're in a hurry to make breakfast, just take a portion from the freezer, drop it into a pot, and by the time you rinse it, the beans are ready. If you want to make red bean soup for lunch, it only takes 10 minutes. No need to stand by the stove for long, and the texture of the cooked beans is fantastic. Plump, not mushy, soft and slightly chewy, with a smooth, powdery interior. The science behind the freezing method is simple. The key lies in the expansion of water as it freezes. The water inside and around the red beans freezes, increasing in volume and creating tiny cracks in the bean skin. These cracks may be invisible to the naked eye, but they act as channels to absorb water. When frozen beans are dropped directly into boiling water, heat quickly penetrates the cracks, allowing water to quickly seep into the beans. The starch and protein inside absorb water and expand faster, helping the beans cook naturally until tender in just 10 minutes, saving much more time than conventional boiling. These are 2 quick and effective methods for cooking red beans. Each method has its own advantages. Which method do you prefer? Leave a comment below and let me know your choice. And if you have your own bean cooking tips, don't forget to share them. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your family and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next videos.